Okay, it looks like we're streaming. Mayor, you're unmuted, and so is Erica, so is William, so is the rest of the council.
Bob Best is still muted though. And so
We're
is Maria.
in the process of unmuting.
Okay.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Okay, we're live.
For those people who are joining the meeting online or joining the Zoom meeting, you should not have the ability, we don't see you, but you can see us. So just give us a few minutes and we'll be getting the meeting started. Erica, are we streaming on YouTube?
We are, and I just got confirmation that we are being viewed right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm watching it now.
Perfect. So Mayor, I guess whenever you're ready.
Call the roll.
Mayor Bain,
I'm here.
Vice Mayor Zapata,
Here.
Councilman Best,
Present.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Here.
Councilman Petralanda.
Here.
We have a quorum, sir.
Okay, we are going to do the pledge, or are we going to do anything like that, or just go straight down to the meeting?
At this time, we're going to go straight to the meeting. I did not plan the pledge, but if you choose
Okay.
to do so, we could do that. I just don't have the flag right now.
Okay. Consensus, we'll just go through the meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Fine, sir.
all right. We're on number 2, review of virtual meeting procedures. Council approved the verbal meeting. We have to vote on that.
Mayor, this is, if I may, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to go ahead and provide the council and the community with an update on our virtual meeting procedures, how we got here, how we're having this meeting. And so I have several remarks to make, but I think that they're important so that we can go forward.
You want to do it now?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my remarks this evening pertain to item 2 on the City Council's agenda, specifically the overview of the virtual meeting procedures. On March 9th, 2020, Governor DeSantis issued Executive Order 20-52, declaring a state of emergency due to coronavirus, otherwise known as COVID-19. Around that time, my law firm requested that the governor's office consider alternative means for government to continue conducting government business in light of the health and safety concerns posed by the coronavirus and the concerns pertaining to meetings in person. On March 20th, the governor issued Executive Order 20-69, which authorizes cities to utilize communications media technology, such as telephonic or video conferencing like the one we're using this evening, as provided by Section 120.545(b)(2) of Florida statutes, to conduct meetings without having a quorum physically present. So that's why we're all able to meet in a virtual setting. So in accordance with the governor's order, city staff worked to put together this meeting and the city council meetings going forward. The city will be able to conduct these meetings virtually until the governor's Executive Order 20-52, declaring a state of emergency, is terminated. Pursuant to the governor's executive orders, the city manager issued an emergency order adopting rules for conducting a city council meeting using communications media technology, such as you'll see under item 2 of the agenda, there's a section for the city council's ratification of the city manager's emergency order. The council will be voting on that after I complete my remarks about the virtual meeting procedures, and we provide an opportunity for public comments on that sole agenda item prior to the council's vote. As far as the procedures to be employed in this meeting and others going forward, the council and the public should be aware that the city has provided means for the public to watch or listen to this meeting and address the city council and provide public comments. Instructions are available in the city agenda and the notice for tonight's meeting, which I'll go over now. The city is using Zoom to hold tonight's meeting. Zoom is a platform for video and audio conferencing, collaboration, chat, and webinars across mobile devices, desktops, and telephones. The public does not need to purchase or download any software or equipment to watch or listen to this meeting. Normally, the city council live broadcasts its meeting on local channel 77. Tonight's meeting is not being live broadcast on the local channel. However, the meeting will be made available to watch on TV with closed captioning after the meeting is uploaded to that channel. As set forth in the agenda and meeting notice, the public is able to watch this meeting live on the City of Miami Springs' YouTube channel or on the city's website using their computers or mobile devices. The links to watch the meeting on YouTube or the city's website are on the agenda for tonight's meeting and on the meeting notice. Please understand, for those watching at home, that there is about a 30-second delay when watching the meeting using YouTube or the website. The public is also able to listen to this meeting live by calling into the number on the notice or the city agenda. The number is 305-805-5151, and callers will be prompted to input the meeting ID, which is 863-7957-4137, followed by the pound or hashtag sign. Callers will be prompted for a participant ID. However, there is no participant ID for this meeting, so they simply need to press pound or hashtag for a second time. They will be admitted to the meeting by the city clerk in listen-only mode. This means that the caller should be able to hear the city council meeting, but the person cannot be heard unless the city clerk unmutes that caller. With that, I'll move on to how members of the public may address the council and provide public comments. Prior to the meeting, the public was invited to submit written public comments via email to the city clerk at cityclerk@miamisprings-fl.gov. It is my understanding that for tonight's meeting, the city clerk has not received any emailed public comments. In addition to emailing their comments, the second method for members of the public to address the council is during the actual live meeting. The public may call into this virtual meeting using the instructions on the notice, which I just explained. Once the person is on the call, they can press *9 on their telephones. Pressing *9 will alert the city clerk that the individual wishes to speak during public comments. Once public comments are opened, the city clerk will call the person's name or the last 4 digits of their telephone for that person who is requested to speak. And that caller will then be unmuted. So that's *9. When called on to speak, just like we're in council chambers, that person should be prepared to state their name and address and the agenda item they wish to speak about. For those who are watching at home and may be calling in to address the city council, please be sure to be in a quiet area to avoid unnecessary noise and silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. If you're watching the meeting online and are calling in to make a comment, please mute your television or computer so that any feedback or echo is reduced or eliminated. All comments submitted will be included as part of the public record for this virtual meeting and will be considered by the city council prior to any action taken. If an agenda item is continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the city council takes action on such item. Any person wishing to appeal any decision made by the city council for any matter considered at this meeting may need a verbatim record of the item. A video of this meeting may be requested by contacting the city clerk or by accessing the meeting on the city's YouTube channel. I just have a few more remarks, Mayor and Council. And I don't intend to do this before every virtual meeting, but I think it's important for the first one. Please note that the council members, for those watching at home, the council members have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney on the agenda items that are being heard today. Mayor and Council, the public comment options that we've established and provided for this virtual special city council meeting and meetings going forward comply with the Sunshine Law, section 286.0114 and section 120.54 Florida statutes, which is what we are operating under pursuant to the authority. The city has published an agenda as well as included in the notice to the public pursuant to our city code, the items and topics that will be discussed at the virtual meeting. Additionally, the public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting via emails and live remote telephone comments. The information on how to submit these comments was included in the notice, in the agenda, on the city's website, and the city's various social media accounts. Just a couple more comments. Any person who's a lobbyist pursuant to section 33-01 of the city code must register with the city clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the city council. A copy of the code is available online or by requesting it to the city clerk. The material for the agenda is on the city's website and is also available by emailing the clerk. However, it's very easy to find on the city's website. Mayor, I think as we do in chambers, we normally give people 3 minutes to speak, but depending on how many people are calling in, you may wish to, as chair of the meeting, limit that time. Council members, are you comfortable with the procedures for this meeting and going forward, the virtual meeting procedures that we've established?
I'm fine with it, Haiti. Yes.
Maria,
Yes, I'm fine.
Mata,
Yes, I'm fine also.
okay.
You, Council. I would just recommend, Mayor, that we open the meeting for public comments now, only on the item of ratifying the virtual meeting procedures, which were set by the city manager's executive order. And just please keep in mind again that there's approximately a 30-second delay for the meeting that's being broadcast. So those individuals who wish to speak on simply the item of ratifying the manager's emergency orders establishing the rules can press *9 on their telephone to alert us that they wish to speak.
Okay, so I'm opening up basically to a public hearing
Yes.
for the emergency order 2001. So
Correct.
it's open now. I guess the clerk will let us know if anybody chimes in.
And Mayor, because of the delay, I would just give it that 30 seconds.
I am. I got my glass over here. My hourglass.
Yeah.
So far, I have no public comments.
We'll give it another. We'll give it another meeting. Another minute.
Okay.
All right. I close the hearing. Erica, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
hear you.
I don't have anyone to comment on this item, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna close the hearing. Over. And then I guess I'll call the vote. I'll ask for first and second.
You got a first, sir.
Okay, you
second
got a
it.
first and second. Any public comments? Call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata,
Yes.
Councilman Best,
Aye.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petrolanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. All right, we
Motion
go on
carries.
to, okay, we go on to 3. This is the coronavirus update.
Yes.
City Manager.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As the city works through the current COVID-19 crisis, we want to reassure our residents that we're doing everything possible to keep our community safe and provide the most up-to-date information available. Please refer to our city social media pages and our city website, which provides a listing of what city services are currently open or closed, as well as telephone listings of city departments that you can call if you have any questions or problems. Residents, as always, can always reach out to Mayor and Council if you have any issues you want to discuss with them. For those residents that do not have access to internet, you can call our public information specialist, Daniel Gonzalez, at 305-805-5010. You can call our CPO office at 305-888-5286, or you can call the city manager's office at 305-805-5035 with any questions you may have. Our website and social media pages also provide up-to-date information to our residents on a multitude of services available for our residents from federal, state, and county resources, as well as programs to help business owners in our city. We also post all emergency orders issued by the state and county governments. As you know, our city follows all state and county emergency orders. Right now, our focus is on safe practices. We want residents to continue to wash your hands frequently, wear masks or facial covering when in public, at grocery stores, pharmacies, restaurants, etc. Clean your doorknobs, counters, and light switches. We are still under a safer at home order, so stay at home whenever possible, especially if you're sick, and only go out for essential services. Please practice social distancing, the 6-foot rule. This will help us reduce the exposure and help spread the spread of the virus. Your best protection, we've always said, is to assume that everyone has the virus. As you know, we have been dealing with 2 major issues during these last 6 weeks. We have the COVID-19 crisis, and at the same time, we have the relocation of City Hall offices to the community center so that the City Hall building can undergo mold remediation and repairs. Police was also relocated to mobile office trailer station on Park Street. We expect this work to take approximately 2 to 3 months. We would not have been able to do all of this without the dedication and hard work of our department directors, which are here tonight, and our city staff, who have been working hard to help us handle these 2 events, while at the same time providing essential city services. We want to also thank all of our first responders, our police, our firefighters, our healthcare workers for their hard work and dedication during these hard times. Currently, City Hall offices are closed to the public. Residents can call specific departments or email us at info@miamisprings-fl.gov with any needs or concerns. Most City Hall staff is teleworking from home, while some are doing a combination of working at City Hall and teleworking from home. We have also taken steps to ensure that our city staff is protected when at the workplace. At this time, I would like to turn it over to some of our department heads so they can brief you on what their departments are doing specifically at this time to serve our community. And with that, I'll start with Tom Nash, our Public Works Director.
Good evening, everyone. Just a little brief outline with regards to our public works services. The garbage and bulk trash are working on regular schedules with no interruptions. We've had a slight increase when heavier garbage and bulk waste with so many people being home. Our street crews are pressure cleaning, curbing, fixing signs and making roadway repairs as needed. We just recently had Dove Avenue around the high school restriped. We're going to have other areas in the city striped, as well as some asphalt work coming up. Our stormwater crews have taken advantage of the roadways on Westwood Drive, the Circle, and other points usually blocked by heavy cars. We're getting the storm drains vacuumed out, cleaned, and ready for our rain seasons. The public properties crews are doing their citywide duties, light tree trimming, mowing. We've been painting barricades, the little city memorials around town, benches and fire hydrants. Our building maintenance staff has been performing all of their regular duties and taking on whatever requests are needed for the moves that we've been making. Our fleet services haven't missed a beat either. They've been able to keep all of the city vehicles, police units and everything up and running without interruptions. All of our vehicle supply vendors and dealers are still operating. What's helping us out quite a bit is since some of their end has slowed down, they're actually doing some deliveries now. So we're getting a lot of our parts and different things that we need actually delivered. So it minimizes our need to run out to these facilities. All of our city staff that's within Public Works and their families, everybody has been safe. Nobody's been impacted or affected by this virus. And we'll just continue to support everyone as needed. And hopefully very soon this will all be just a memory.
Thank you, Tom. Are there any specific questions for Tom before I bring on the chief?
Go ahead, go to the chief.
To Tom, I say. Tom, have we continued to employ the entire staff? There's been no layoffs in the city, has there?
To my knowledge, there's been no city layoffs.
In your department, in your department, obviously. I'm only referring to your department.
No, we're all here. We all have our regular normal duties.
Thank you, sir.
If there are no other questions, Chief, your update, please.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Good evening, Mayor and Council. So as of early as mid-January, we started acquiring safety equipment for our officers. We were able to locate it. And back then, mid-January was already starting to get hard, but we were able to locate the N95 masks. And by the third week in January, all our officers had N95 masks, hand sanitizers, gloves. They had sleeves, devices, and we continued to update and acquire more equipment. We recently acquired face shields, goggles. We even bought gas masks with biological filters and coveralls. Now, the gas masks and coveralls are for worst case scenarios. But going back to January, we also started doing things quite differently. Our call takers, if you call Miami Springs Police on our direct line requesting police assistance, our call takers are asking specific questions. And we're not the only department that's doing this. We're asking folks, were you on a cruise? Anybody exposed to anybody with the virus? Have you been tested positive? Are you running a temperature? Things of that nature. And we're not responding to all calls like we used to. Minor incidents, for example, hey, my bicycle was taken from my front yard. We're going to handle that report over the phone. Now, obviously, we're still going to go to in-progress calls. And even if a citizen insists on speaking to an officer, we're going to go. But they're going to have their gear. And as of about 3 weeks ago, my directive was that when you come in contact with anybody, you are going to wear your mask and your gloves. We're not responding to, like we used to respond to all sick and injured persons. Now, there are some exceptions. If somebody has a nasty fall off their bicycle, we're going to go by there. But we get a call of somebody with a temperature or not feeling well, fire rescue is going to respond and advise us what the situation is, and we're just going to note it down for our records. As of March 16th, I canceled all non-previously authorized time off. So if you had requested vacation prior to that, it's honored. But if you wanted to take a day off here and there, it's been canceled since March 16th. I'm looking at, as things progress in the next couple of weeks, easing up on that, because I have noticed some of the officers are starting to get a little bit burned out. As of March 23rd, all training has been canceled. As of March 23rd, all personnel, detectives, and plainclothes officers are reporting to work in uniform. We are taking the temperature of all officers before their start of their shift, and all staff personnel, including myself. And we have things in place in the event anybody has an elevated temperature, and what we will do about that. We also have a plan in place in the event the situation worsens, where our shift hours will be rearranged, so we'll have more coverage and overlapping shifts, so that we'll have plenty of officers on the street. What else? We also are waiting for one last piece of equipment, an Ozone Generator. It's a device maybe about the size of a microwave oven that sits in your car. We plug it in, and the ozone kills any bacteria that's in the car. So we do have a service that will clean up, excuse me, I'm sorry. We do have a service that we do call if they have to clean up the inside of a car. However, that doesn't clean bacteria or germs. So this Ozone Generator plugs in. After about 30 minutes, the inside of the vehicle is purified and clean for our officers. Our officers also have Clorox wipes, so they can wipe down their cars periodically, their steering wheels, the door handles, and things of that nature. And I'm ready for any questions that you might have.
Questions?
Mayor, through the chair, if I might. Chief, good evening, and thanks for being here tonight.
Yes, sir.
So based on what you're saying, and of course we're hearing, everybody's hearing, that a lot of the municipalities and the lower ranks, shall we say, across the land are being deprived of a lot of PPE. In your opinion, our force is well served right now, and we're good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been able to acquire some ourselves, plus also through the state of Florida, the Florida Police Chiefs Association, and the Miami-Dade County Chiefs of Police Association. We've acquired a lot of equipment from them too. So we're doing well. We have an abundance of masks. We have, like I said, gloves. We have had sanitizers. There was even a local company that donated hand sanitizers to us. They made it for us, and they donated it to us. So our officers have what they need.
Yeah, good looking out, especially since the early point that you started doing it.
Councilwoman Mitchell, you have anything?
Chief, I just wanted to ask you about the ozone generators. Are those that while they're operating the car, they're using that, or that's when the vehicle is being brought in to be cleaned?
No, if we have a situation where, and by the way, let me backtrack a little bit. I met with all the officers and I said, look, there's a lot of people out there going to be going through some stressful situation. You know, you have folks that are not getting paid and they're getting desperate. You know, how do they put food on the table for their families? So this is the time when we really need to be empathetic. If you can give the person a break, let's by all means be there for them, listen to them. You know, if you don't need to write a ticket, don't do that. We're not going to forsake, you know, the citizens and the community's safety by no means, but we also have to put ourselves in the position of those individuals. But in the event, and we have made arrests, you know, we're not shying away from that. But in the event where we arrest somebody that has, for example, blood on them or some other bodily fluid, we call the company in, they clean that up, and then the car sits there for about 30 minutes with this ozone generator in it, nobody inside the vehicle.
Okay, all right.
It does its process, and then we take it out, open up the car windows, let the air conditioning run, and we're good to go.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to make sure no one was in there because ozone can be toxic.
No,
All right.
absolutely not. And a lot of fire departments and other departments have devices similar to this one.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, I have a question.
Wait, I'm going down the line.
Okay.
God, dog it. Councilwoman Zapata, anything from you?
No, just to thank Chief Guzman for such a thorough and nice report, and for, you know, our officers having everything they need right now. That's good to know.
Thank you.
All right, Councilman Petrolanga.
Yes, I have a question for the chief. Chief, can you go over the new policy for the golf course? I had a resident that contacted me. Apparently, they the weather report is you can't walk on the golf course and the police are stopping people. Can you explain that to us?
Well, basically, as you can't congregate, and we were getting reports of people sitting around having picnics, people playing soccer, people playing frisbees, and that's what we're out there to direct them that they can't be doing that. As far as walking or I run every morning in my neighborhood, and as far as walking and jogging, as long as they're not congregating with anybody, that's still okay.
So what you're saying is it's okay to walk on the path, right?
As long as they don't congregate and don't go onto the golf course.
Right, they're just walking. Apparently, they were having issues where they couldn't keep that. There's 3 or 4 of them walking at the same time. They have to have
Well,
6
that's
feet.
congregating, sir. And if they're together, then we can't have that, according to
No, that's not
the county mayor, the county mayor's ordinance and the governor's also. If they're together, they can't have that.
I think what he was referring to is that there was like 3 or 4 of them walking. They're keeping their distance 6 feet across. They want to walk next to each other, and they were walking on the grass. And the police came and told them they couldn't do that. I think that's what this person was referring to.
Okay.
Chief, can I step in here, Chief, for a minute?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
As I explained to Councilman Petrolanda when this came up last week, we had reports of people, as the chief mentioned, playing football, playing volleyball, riding bicycles on the golf course grounds, on the greens, and causing significant damage to the golf course. I talked to Lori and I talked to Paul, and they confirmed that it was being damaged because of the abuse. So what we decided to do is, when the police, we don't want anybody on the golf course, on the greens or on the fairways. There's a walking path around the golf course that people can use if they want to walk, if they want to run and all that. But we had to stop the activities going on the greens themselves because it was damaging the golf course. And that's what happened.
Okay, we go on to reports from Omar Luna, Recreation Director.
Before we go to Omar, Chief, Mayor, I just wanted to say, as far as the Chief's Department, we should be very thankful with all the reports we hear from other departments and people testing positive, officers testing positive and all that, that we have not had that case here in Miami Springs. And that's a tribute to the safety measures that the chief has taken with his staff. And I think we should all be thankful for that. Thank you, Chief.
Yeah, good point, William. Very good point.
But sir, it's not just me. It's I have a great group of people that we work together. It's a team. We always bounce things off each other. I'm open to suggestions and other ideas from anybody on the organization. So I think I remember saying it many it seems like a long time already, that it's not about me, it's about us.
All right. Omar.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Hi, Omar, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing? So we've been doing a lot of things. Obviously, Parks and Recreation is one of those places where residents want to go to our parks. So right now we actually have staff on 4-hour rotations at our parks, making sure no one's using them, because right when we got hit with the coronavirus pandemic, our parks, people were going there just to be able to get out of their homes and at least spend time somewhere with their children, family members, etc. So we've had staff at our parks around the clock from sunrise to sunset to make sure that no one's using the parks. We've allowed people to walk at Stafford Park using the walking path, making sure they stay within the social distancing of 6 feet, etc. Making sure they're not walking in groups, things like that. Overall, the residents have been very good. We've had a few that don't really understand, I guess, what the county ordinances are, but we've been very kind to them. We explained it to them, and but overall, most of the residents, we haven't had an issue with them at all. As far as programming is concerned, we've done some virtual events that have turned out really nice, actually. We had an Easter egg art showcase, which we had about 8 or 9 participants. We gave each of them a gift card for participating. We had a Miami Springs virtual 5K, which was this weekend, actually. We had over 40 participants participate through Instagram, which we were very excited about. We gave them medals and also gift cards. And we actually started this week an arts and crafts virtual program. And as of tomorrow, we'll start a fitness program for kids for like after school care, like after 3 o'clock. Today, our arts and crafts had about 68 live views on Instagram Live, which I was completely shocked, to be honest with you. We had a lot of people actually participate, and we've had some people actually retag it and post it, which has been very, very good for the outcome for ourselves. As far as staff is concerned, we're keeping our staff extremely busy. We have a lot of miscellaneous projects that sometimes throughout the year, since we're so busy with programs, whether it's soccer, flag football, baseball, our basketball programs, after school care, summer camp, we don't get to do some of this miscellaneous maintenance. So we've painted basically the inside of the community center completely. The whole basketball gym, the 3rd floor, the staircases. We've pressure cleaned. We've painted the bathrooms at PV Dove and Stafford. We've pressure cleaned playgrounds. We've wiped them down. We're doing a lot of different things that we could do. We're assisting the senior center with the food distribution. We've even helped out Public Works with some of their staff. Tom's been gracious to give our bodies an opportunity to work with them on miscellaneous projects under the supervision of his staff. So we've done that. Our aquatic staff has been doing a lot of cleaning at the aquatic center, repainting, things like that. And we're just staying as ready as possible because we do feel that things might open up pretty soon. We're optimistic for that. So we're on our toes constantly, meeting constantly, using Zoom with my staff, my full-time staff, and thinking outside the box to come up with different programs and even ways to, if we start to open up, potentially maybe having a summer camp and things of that nature. So we're thinking outside the box as much as possible to be ready if we need to be.
Okay, any comments? Bobby, you go first. Councilman Best.
Thank you, Mayor, through the chair. Omar, what was that comment you made about the thing you're doing, the after school thing? Is that with people coming to the rec center?
No, everything's virtual. So just the same way we're meeting now through Zoom.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all thank you, sir.
Councilwoman Mitchell, anything? Councilwoman Mitchell, anything?
Omar, I was gonna thank you for your resourcefulness in finding, and I know Tom Nash is doing that too, in finding tasks that have been on the back burner and getting them done, using this time to get these maintenance and housekeeping and other tasks done with our staff. So I appreciate that I think all the department directors are looking at ways to maximize the staff's ability to work and
Thank you.
the availability of some free time, downtime. So thank you.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Zapata.
No, I want to thank you for sharing all that. It sounds really great that you're doing virtual things and that kids and families are being supported that way.
Thank you.
And Councilman Petrolaga.
No, I don't have anything other than just thank Omar. I went by to that today and I saw him working with the staff and keeping busy. Thank you, Omar.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you for that.
Well,
We go to
one of
Tammy
the things, Omar, that I think Omar needs to touch on is the increasing the size of the fitness room.
Oh, yes. One of the projects we're actually doing now is that we knocked down what was the storage in the fitness room to increase the space that's there. So right now the fitness room is completely, we took all the equipment out, we put it inside the basketball gym, and we're using this time wisely because this is a good time to take out that floor and reconfigure that area. We had some ADA compliance issues a couple months ago, actually. So knocking down that wall with Public Works, which did an excellent job of doing it seamless as much as possible. So we've created some additional space in there, which will help us meet more of the ADA compliance. And we're going to change the actual floor to an easier porous floor that we can clean better. So we're looking forward to a basically full renovation of the fitness room.
Nice.
Yeah, good job on that, Omar.
Great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Omar.
All right, we go to Tammy Key.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
So when our closure of the senior center was ordered, we were able to utilize the recreation staff, as Omar mentioned, as well as our drivers to ensure that we were able to get out boxed, shelf-stable emergency meals to all of our registered seniors. These came from a donation from Feeding South Florida, as well as those purchased meals that we bought from our caterer, Greater Miami Caterers. We probably took out about 950 meals in total. We did have some leftover meals. We were able to take those to some of our seniors that were not registered seniors with the senior center and deliver them to their homes using our bus drivers and recreation staff. Prior to the crisis, we had on average 90 to 115 seniors attending our congregate lunches. The number is now 169. Those individuals, we are serving them through Greater Miami Caterers. They are getting a weekly delivery of frozen meals to ensure that they have, meals in their homes. Our regular homebound clients, which were already established before the crisis, continue to receive hot meals at their homes. We currently have 63 homebound clients, in addition to our 169 congregate clients that have now become homebound because of the crisis. We were able to retain some staff temporarily to help with this process. Unfortunately, some of our staff is elderly, so we kept them on coming in individually doing various projects as long as we could, but now those few individuals are home. We're working on a skeleton crew. I'm working from home. Betty Bray and Angie Aguila are working with me. They are taking turns actually going into the office. We are conducting wellness checks over the phone now, and we are able to work together remotely to ensure that this process goes smoothly. It was a little bit rough for Greater Miami Caterers. They only had a week of ramp up time for these frozen meals, and it did put a little bit of pressure on them. They were having to deliver those frozen meals over a 2-day period, but they're finally getting that process a little more streamlined. Originally, there was one person in one van delivering the 63 homebound meals. So you can imagine this did add a lot of pressure to them, but they have definitely stood up to the task.
Okay, we're gonna go down the line the other way. Councilman Petrolaga, anything?
No, just thank you for making sure that our seniors are getting fed. Have we had any incidents with any of our seniors as far as the
No incidents with the viruses. No, Thank God.
All right. Thank you.
Councilwoman Zapata,
No, thank you, Tammy, for sharing.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
I just wanted to say, Tammy, thank you and Betty and Angie and all of your staff, Berto, the delivery. When I run into seniors when I'm exercising, or some of them have called me to tell me that they're just really happy with the delivery service, with the meals quality, and how they're delivered 10 meals on a weekly basis, frozen to their doorstep. So you're doing a great job, and the caterer evidently is providing very good meals.
Councilman Best.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Through the chair. Tammy, good to see you. I realize that this is a very difficult time, especially in your profession. And I've heard nothing but good of everything that you've pulled off over there as far as taking care of these seniors and the additional programs that you've fermented. Please know that Claire and I wish you well, and Mark too. Tell him I saw you on TV.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Best.
Thank you, Tammy. We go to Ulysses.
Oh, wow. Mayor, one thing on Tammy, just mentioned the fact that we're getting additional funding from the state due to this crisis. So because some of those frozen meals are expensive and the delivery charges and all that. So they're in the process of increasing our budget.
We have weekly meetings with the Alliance for Aging, and we have calls with all the providers every week. And they did designate additional funding to all of the elderly services providers. So that is going to offset the cost quite a bit.
Very
Thank
good.
you, Pam.
Ulysses?
Paul Odell.
Oh, Paul, I'm sorry, Paul Odell.
Yep. How y'all doing? Good evening,
Doing good.
council, mayor.
Hey, Paulie, how are you?
Paul,
We're hanging in there, trying to tee it up again soon. We closed the golf course on March 19th per the mayor's executive order of Miami-Dade County. Since then, we've been maintaining the golf course. Lori has been doing a great job with her staff of maintaining it, and it's in excellent shape. One thing that was touched upon earlier from the city manager and the chief is that once we closed it on March 19th, it did turn into a giant use facility, from soccer to football to motorbikes to golf carts to you name it. Everybody seemed to come to the golf course for entertainment, not practicing social distancing, not doing the things that were ordered by the government to take place. So we did need the assistance of the police department. We had residents calling in about people not adhering to the rules. And there were picnic tables on greens. There were things that were unbelievable, but it's under control pretty much at this point in time. We completed an aerification program that was slated for the last week of April. We've already completed that, and we're ready based on what Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez says. We are ready to reopen the golf course at once the approval of the city manager and the council, and we're ready to go. In reference to COVID-19, I've been on a golf task force, in touch with them over the last week, consistently on basically a daily basis. And we have our rules and procedures that were issued over the weekend. The final was done yesterday, and we have everything in place to proceed to open the golf course once we can. We have all our disinfectants in place. We have our golf cart fleet ready to go. And the management staff that's been there, Mason and Lori, I've counseled them on the procedures as of actually yesterday and today. And once staff returns, we'll counsel them prior to opening, so they understand exactly what we have to go by, and they'll be given a copy of the procedures. We look for quite a heavy demand. There's been a lot of people that have been requesting it over the last several days when we were going to open the golf course, and we advised them that was not our call, but once it was opened up, we'd be ready to go. So in reference to responding to that and being ready to open, we're ready to go, and our staff will be trained and ready to deal with every situation as it comes up per our procedures that have been authorized by the task force. We also have the ongoing WASA well project going on in Miami-Dade County. That process was brought to a halt last week because we had, due to the COVID-19, I believe WASA got off track, and we weren't doing the things as we had agreed upon. So I have a meeting with them tomorrow, a virtual meeting at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning to go over a new schedule and new procedures for them working on the golf course and process and proceeding with the Miami Springs well field project. And we've got everything in place. We're ready to go. And again, my staff done an excellent job, and we're we kind of got ahead of it to a little bit and ordered the disinfectants and the wipes and have those things in place. So we're ready to go.
Okie dokie. Anything from Councilwoman Zapata?
No, thank you for the update.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Thank you, Paul, for the update, and we're for following the instructions. We'll see what happens if they open it up. I'm sure it'll be a lot of people that are anxious to get out there and enjoy golf again.
Councilman Petrolaga?
Yes, Paul, thank you for what you're doing out there. On Friday of last week, I walked the golf course, and there was a couple of families holding a picnic out of the golf course. So I know where you're coming from. Keep up the good work, and obviously always protect the green. Make sure it doesn't get damaged. Now it would be very easy for people to just let the guards down and go out there thinking that it's okay to do what they're not supposed to. Thank you, Paul.
Councilman Best?
Thank you, Mayor. Through the chair. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Feel good?
A couple of things. First of all, I read through the various conditions that would be addressed by the golf course and the personnel relative to opening the golf course. I read through all that this afternoon a couple of times, and let me ask you a question, point blank. Should we err on the side of caution, or should we give this a shot? Just between you and me, I'm curious.
I think
because I want to play I don't want to play Russian roulette here.
I think Bob, at this point in time, it's called controlled chaos. And I think we should move forward with it because I think society needs it for mental health as much as the ability to get out and get back to somewhat a sense of normalcy. And this may be the first step of it. And we're prepared, and we are erring on the side of caution with doing a little more distancing, doing a little more disinfecting than that's required by the golf task force.
Thanks, Paul, and good luck going forward.
I just want to make one comment on that, is that up in the middle of the state and going north, they are golfing. There's different processes they do. One golf cart to one person, three only, it's threesomes, not foursomes. So there's ways to do it. And I think that people in the United States understand that they have to do the distancing. I know there's always the percentage that don't work out right, but I think being on the golf course and doing that is probably one of the safer things we could start to participate in. And with that,
Mayor, if I might respond to that, yeah, I don't disagree if you're in Wyoming or Montana or something, but we're in the middle of a metropolitan area, and we're talking about opening a golf course to a city of 15,000 people. Are we ready? Is my question.
We're ready. We're ready. And again, Bob, it's going to be a controlled chaos and we're going to err on the side of precaution. It's going to go to the Miami Springs residents first. And then after that, it's going to go to our members. And from there, just the known people. General public is going to have a hard time getting a tee time at the golf course because we have to take care of the residents, the members, and then our regular customers. And
especially especially one card at a time, right?
Correct. One person per card. Yeah. And we'll encourage walking as well with proper distancing.
Ulysses?
In reference to what the mayor said, I had a gentleman call me that lives in Miami Springs and said he was in Naples last week and he played golf. And why weren't we open? And I said, because it's Miami-Dade County home rule charter. And the mayor of Miami-Dade County has closed all beaches, parks, golf courses, and we're adhering to that. If you need to play golf, go back to Naples.
But we don't want that.
No, we don't. But
we don't want
it was kind of like, we're doing what we need to do, what we're told to do.
Paul, good answer. Good answer, Paul.
That's all I can come up with.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just to interject for a moment, I realize that golf is gearing up to reopen.
keep in mind that we are, as a city, always able to take more stringent measures than either the county or the state. We can be stricter, not less strict. And it seems like Paul is already implementing measures to help keep the safety and health of everybody. So
Gotcha.
just keep that in mind going forward. As a city, we have not issued any emergency orders that are more restrictive than the county. We've taken the lead from the county, and that's perfectly fine. But to the extent that this council wanted to do something more, you do have that ability. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
Thank you, Haiti.
Can we go to Ulysses now?
Yep.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. How are you?
How you doing, Ulysses?
All right. Basically, we have the same schedule in the building department. We are asking homeowners and contractors to submit everything, any documents, any permits, application, inspections via email to reduce any contact with them, to keep them safe and to keep us safe. We're asking contractors also to schedule the inspections regularly. We are allowing them to submit pictures, engineer letters or reports if they choose to, depending on the inspection. And basically, work is, we're still working regular schedule. Very little has changed except for, just the contact with the public and the people out there.
Okay. Councilman Best, anything?
No, nothing, Ulysses. Thank you, sir. Thanks very much for the report.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Ulysses, thank you. So if I understand you correctly, there are everything that your department, the building and zoning department was doing before this crisis is still available to residents. It's just some things may be online or by phone or by photographs, right? But
Yeah, pretty much. We know that South Florida is mainly a construction oriented, force. So we don't want to stop any additions. We don't want to stop any roof repairs. We don't want to stop any AC issues where somebody's, without AC. I do have to compliment my staff for coming in, especially the inspectors that actually go out there and expose themselves. So, yes, Maria, we're still doing everything as usual, just with very few contacts, basically.
And also then for non-essential work, because you were mentioning like air conditioning or roof repairs, but if someone wants to, I don't know, do something, update their house in some way, there's still a process for them to do it.
Of course, we're actually in the process of reviewing the Palmetto lots right now, currently. So it's we are. Yeah, we're same process.
Thank you and your staff for being so resourceful.
No problem.
Councilwoman Zapata?
Just a question. So the inspectors are going out to actually look at things with open permits. Is that delaying any of the process right now? Are you doing it at the same rate that was being done before, or?
Yes, the schedule is still the same. The inspections are still at the regular schedule. Nothing has changed there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Councilman Zapata, Petrolanga?
Ulysses, just to clarify,
Sure.
Is there anything that any of the inspections that you haven't been able to do?
If we're allowing homeowners to, if it's an inspection that involves going inside a home, we are allowing pictures for certain inspections to avoid having to go into those homes and performing the inspection. If it's a small inspection, like a drywall installation, if it's a structural inspection, something a little bit more serious, then either we get an engineer report from them, or if they allow us to go into the property, we'll do the inspection in the property. But I'm giving them a choice because they may not want us to go in there and do the inspection. So we're making it as easy as possible for them to comply with the mandatory inspections and still proceed with their work.
All right, so let me just, so when you guys go in these, if they prefer not to do the engineering report and they allow you to go into the property, you will go into the property when there's no one there, it will just be the inspector, correct?
That's correct. I mean, we're taking precaution. We have gloves, we have masks. We are taking the necessary precaution, but yes, we are going into the homes. Yes.
All right, thank you, Ulysses. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Anytime.
All right, we're good. That's all the reports.
Can I make a statement, Mayor?
Yeah, sure.
I just want to thank Omar for his hospitality and his guys allowing us to, occupy the 3rd floor, and just the way that his guys helped us do the move. As the manager was saying, I think they did a great job, and I mean the people from IT, George, Jose, they did an excellent job, and I'm very thankful to work with them. So I wanted to throw a shout out there.
All right.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you.
It has on here next to do the council comments and questions. Do you mind if I open it up for the virtual, for any public notes? Can I open it up now? For anybody who wants any public comment, then we'll go to our last speeches, so to speak.
Yes, sir. I'll open it to any members of the public that would like to make any
Speak upon
comments.
this meeting. Yes.
Please dial *9 at this time.
Other singers, and I didn't even get a chance to try out. You totally just made that up. Thanks. You got a story about Lady Gaga being over your parents' house? Annie's gonna pick me up. She's up in college for the week.
Okay, Mayor, we don't have anybody at this time.
Okay. I'm going to close the public hearing. All right. Councilman Best, any final comments?
Mayor, just one. I'd like us to really consider the seriousness of this whole thing. Listen, I have a daughter that works at Jackson Memorial in the ICU. She's worked there for the last 3 weeks. She works 14-hour shifts, 2 days in a row, 1 day off, 2 days in a row. I've heard some horrors out of there of people that you would never even expect to come down with this thing. I would just hope that the 5 of us would really consider this before we think about even opening this city up any more than it is right now, until we have at least 2 weeks of clean numbers. And we don't even have clean numbers. We don't have clean numbers from the state. What we say of people affected in Miami Springs and what the state says is 2 different numbers. And the state is a lot lower than what we say. So please consider, my colleagues, before we allow this city to open up any further than it is, to the possibility of a calamity. Thank you, Mayor. That's all I have to say. God bless everybody and be well.
Councilwoman Mitchell.
Thank the city administration, our city manager, our assistant city manager, all the department directors, and our city employees. You're doing a fantastic job of just keeping our city going. Everything's working as it should, despite enormous challenges that I know that you're facing every day that I'm sure we're not even aware of or can't even imagine some of the technicalities that you're going through. So thank you. And I'm sure the residents of our community sincerely appreciate your dedication and your hard work. So with that said, I wanted to encourage our residents to continue to practice safe distancing, safe practices as much as possible. We've stayed safe so far. Let's keep it going and try to curtail this. Also, I wanted to ask our city manager with the hurricane manual and disaster preparedness manual. I know you're working on it and updating it for hurricane season 2020 to please see what there are a lot of lessons learned during this right now, and to please incorporate whatever possible into that hurricane disaster preparedness manual for 2020. The last thing I wanted to ask is with Councilman Best, are you asking as far as the golf course, your comment that we consider, give some thought to whether to allow the golf course to open?
Councilwoman Mitchell, I certainly am. I don't think we're there yet. And I would like to ask consideration that we consider the numbers of people that have been affected by this in Dade County. Take a look at them. This does not warrant opening a golf course next Wednesday.
Okay, I guess my question would be then, how do we do that to give it some consideration? We have a meeting scheduled next week. Do we?
I suppose, Maria,
postpone it till then? Pardon?
Yeah, well, I'm not asking for, no, this is a special meeting. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for consideration on the part of my 4 colleagues. That's what I'm asking for.
Right, I'm just asking it through the mayor, how do we give it consideration?
Well, what we'll do,
That's up to the mayor.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had to say. Thank you.
Councilwoman Zapata.
Okay.
From the city who shared and gave us updates. I always know that we're fortunate to live in Miami Springs, but when you hear of how the departments are working together, it's just a reminder of the kind of place we are. So I'm grateful for that. As far as what Councilman Beth has expressed, I echo his sentiment. I think we need to be careful. I'm not saying it doesn't need to be discussed, but I think that we need to be very, very careful. I think also that we getting inaccurate numbers. We have had people here in Miami Springs infected with the virus, and that doesn't really come out. I don't know why. So I'm very precautious of that consideration. I also have, I know residents here in Miami Springs who work at Jackson Memorial in ICU and I have also heard the stories happening there. And there's a lot that we don't hear. And the final thing I'd like to say is I want to remind Tammy that I have asked for something for next week's agenda, just to discuss in terms of residents' concerns about that traffic pattern on the circle, and just to have the city share what, just to clarify what it is and what it isn't in terms of what they're listening to and what their concerns are.
Yes, I spoke to William and we discussed having it on.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's it for me.
Petrolaga?
Yes, I want to thank the staff for putting this together. I think this meeting has gone very smooth. I can't wait till we have the next one. I want to make sure, ask everyone to stay safe, and basically that's it. Thank you.
Heidi?
Yes, Mayor.
That's everything we needed to do? Okay,
That's everything, Mayor. The only thing I did want to clarify is, as far as emergency orders, if the city wishes to do something as a council, you have that ability to direct additional emergency orders. I know that the county is trying to get all the cities to have a cohesive rollout of the reopening of the county, so to speak. But I do want that to just be clear that you do have that ability. And if you wanted to do something today, you could, as long as you opened it up for public comment.
Yeah. And city manager, anything from your office?
Mayor, just reminding everybody that this Saturday, the Miami Springs Optimist Club from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 1101 Wren, in conjunction with Ricky's Meats, the city of Miami Springs, and the city of and the village of Virginia Gardens. We're giving away 1,000 meals, 4 per car, and the instructions are online on our website. No physical contact. People drive in with their trunks open, and they'll get their 4 meals delivered to their trunks. And that's this Saturday between 11 and 2 p.m. On another note, I just wanted to update you on the Tgk Jail Proposal. As you know, they were supposed to bring a proposal back to the commission on June 2nd. So I know Councilwoman Mitchell has reached out to Rebecca Sosa's office, and so have I. that we would like to see a copy of this proposal before, or what they're working on before we get to June 2nd, so that we're not surprised like we were the last time.
Yeah,
So
good
we
point, William.
requested to see what it is they're working on and what their recommendation will be, so that we can prepare for that. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, so it worked pretty good for a bunch of, for a guy that didn't know what to do with this computer, but it went pretty good.
Hey, Bill, didn't do bad.
I thought we did good, didn't talk over each other pretty good. I think, you know, we should be proud of our city, how we've done things, not only the staff, police department and all the different things, but our citizens have done a good job too. And it's only going to come from them, not from us, to do the good job. I have my little differences of opinion about the golf course. I think if it's done right, we can't keep closed forever. People are stir crazy. Heck, I'm over here planting plants. I never planted plants before in my life. And, we're doing things like that. So, you know, you got limited time to see your grandchildren, limited time to do this and that. I think there's got to be an outlet for the mental part of your life. But God bless Miami Springs and all of you that came on board here and we did a great job tonight. And y'all have a great evening.
You too, Mayor.
One last thing, we'll put on the 27th meeting a discussion on the reopening of the golf course.
Thank you,
If
Mayor.
it's not
Thanks very
already
much.
reopened, okay, all right.
Mayor,
Yes.
Well, I know what Heidi's going to say. And what's going to happen is that if Mayor Jimenez issues an order today or tomorrow about reopening golf courses with some of those conditions, are you saying we keep it closed until next Monday, or?
Well, I would open it, but I'm giving the consideration to these council people that have their concerns, but I would open it. We've been abiding by the county for all this time. We haven't superseded any of their decisions.
And Mayor, if I might.
Let me finish, Bob. I haven't said much this meeting. Let me finish.
Yeah,
I'll
you
let
said
you all
enough.
through your talking. Okay.
Go ahead.
We abided by the county's situation the whole time. I can't see why stepping over the county now makes any difference on what we're going to do. I feel very confident, extremely confident, that we can go ahead and conduct the golf course with the different things that they have us do, and with Paul O'Dell, who's very competent in what he does, and our staff, which we've given all the accolades tonight about. And if Paul O'Dell is our guy at the golf course, and he feels that we've done it all day, we've given accolades to everybody, supported everything. And I believe we can support him now if the county wants to open up on Wednesday. That's my opinion.
Okay, Mayor, if I might, that's fine. That's fine, well and good. And I support Paul's ability to do that too. But is Paul going to be in the bathroom watching everybody wash his hands and be 6 foot apart and golf balls be washed off? Hold on. No, let me finish. There's people that are still coming down with this virus at an unbelievable rate in this county. And my whole point is, do we want, listen, if it starts dropping in 2 weeks, I'm all with you, Bill. I'm all over it, but not now.
All right. Do I need to make a vote here?
I don't know. You
Heidi, do I need to make a vote here?
I didn't hear a motion, Mayor.
Okay.
Motion. You have a motion, sir, through the chair, that the golf course not be opened until our next meeting on the 27th of April.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Mayor, before you have any discussion, and I just also want to clarify that the county has allowed up until this point for cities to be more restrictive than the county. I don't expect that to change with the order that the county mayor is expected to issue, but just keep that in mind as we move forward. I'm happy to prepare an emergency order as directed by council tonight, if that is what the council decides to vote, that the golf course would remain closed through April 27th. And then at that point, we could, the council can reconsider its position.
Right now, the motion is till the 27th.
And
Sure it is.
And because this is an action item, I would open up this portion of the meeting for public comment. I
frankly don't think we should vote on it like this. I frankly think this is a slight to the community, because now you're putting something in in something where nobody's communicating with us right now in this meeting anyway. I feel like we're going, we want to be transparent. I feel like we're not being very transparent right now. I feel that we're doing something.
Through the chair, Mayor, I'm
You know
sure
what,
you have
Bobby?
spoken to
Bobby,
many
let me
people in
talk.
this town, and
Bobby,
so have I.
Bobby, let me talk. I didn't interrupt you. God dang, come on.
I didn't hear you, Bill.
We're being very untransparent doing this without the actual giving any public notice to the residents of this city. If the rest of the county, which, you guys all talk about all the phone calls you get about reopening and different things. I don't really go ahead and blow my horn about how many people have called me up to reopen the golf course. But the bottom line is, if we don't open up the golf course at the same time as the county, I think we're making a big mistake. We can always readdress it on the 27th and make a decision then. But you're gonna catch holy hell for not abiding by the county, because these people want to go out there and enjoy our golf course. And I still believe that Paul can handle everything that we need to be handled. But that's my opinion. It's up to you guys. You want to vote on it now? We'll vote on it.
Mayor, could I
ask a question?
Could I ask a question of Paul? Paul, do you
Wait,
believe?
let's get Paul back on. Hold on.
Hello.
Paul, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Paul, based on this discussion and the mayor's point of view and Councilman Best's point of view, what would you prefer for us to, should the county allow opening of the golf course? My understanding is it'll be Wednesday. And then on the 27th, I would like to suggest on the 27th that we have it on the agenda either way. But would you prefer, what would be easier or more reasonable for you for us to open it should the county pass the order on Wednesday, and then possibly on Monday night we decide to close it again? Or would you rather just wait till next Monday when we discuss it at the meeting? As far as logistics for you, what's more feasible?
Logistically wise, in interacting with the golf task force, we all basically said we'd kind of try and be on the same page. With that being said, Lori and I looked at it. Lori actually suggested, and I concurred with it, that we look at a soft opening. So our soft opening would come down to Miami Springs residents, first of all, that would have access to the golf course. And secondly, our members, which have bought memberships for the year. And then lastly, it would be people that are regular patrons of the golf course. Again, we've got 85 golf carts. There's going to be one person per golf cart. So we're only talking about, in essence, putting 42 people out there per, with only having half the golf cart usage. So we got 42 on the front, 42 on the back. So it's like, it's going to be limited. We're not even letting people into the.
Can you address the guidelines that are going to be followed as far as the bathrooms, to answer Councilman Best's concern?
Yeah, bathrooms have to be cleaned every 2 hours. There's disinfectant wipes have to be supplied inside. Letting people into the building is only one person per time to come in, pay, register, one way in, and there's not dual people passing. So they come in one way and they exit out of another direction. We don't handle any of the golf bags whatsoever. Items such as our driving range dispensing machine, I have an employee planned to be there that every time that a code's input, because everything's controlled under code, and we clean the pad, and then the next person can use it, whoever's using the driving range. We'll be doing less than more as far as letting participants in. But I think it's a situation where we we ease into it. I mean, I don't think we can just open it up and go at it. We have to ease into it. So it, you know, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
Yeah. So I guess my question, Paul, is should we follow the county's guidelines now and possibly it'll be Wednesday that they open? And then if we discuss it, when we discuss it at Monday's meeting, April 27th meeting, should the vote be that we don't want the golf course open? Would that be feasible for you? Is that something that you can handle?
All right,
I
before
wouldn't
you,
open on, I would not, I don't recommend to open on Wednesday. I looked at opening on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, where the highest demand is there. And it gives us time to continue to refine our, you know, our procedures and our policies. And it gives me time to work with staff as well to strictly enforce what's set forth by the Golf Task Force.
So you recommend opening like on a Saturday or a Sunday?
This coming Saturday.
Saturday. Okay,
Yeah,
so
not Wednesday.
so really what we're talking about is one weekend. If we're going to discuss it on April 27th, we'd be talking about delaying the start till the following Saturday.
well,
saying.
not only that, you're going to get an idea how the operation works. You got to start somewhere, and you're going to get an idea. Paul can give
Right,
us.
and I'm talking about this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday.
Yeah, Paul can
Right,
give us.
Not a week now, but this coming
when?
Saturday.
Yeah. So what they're
But
saying, Paul, is we'll have Saturday and Sunday under our belt. So Monday, we can look at, you can come in and say how it went Saturday and Sunday, and whether the recommendations that we're doing are working.
Exactly, exactly.
Through the chair, can I, Mayor, may I ask Paul a question here?
Of course you can.
Thank you, sir. Does the revenue generated from this golf course opening on Saturday justify the risk to persons? Based on the numbers of people that are affected in Miami-Dade County as we speak?
Bob, you know, the reality of it is, you know, justification, it depends. I mean, I think that we're trying to return to somewhat of a normalcy. I don't want to get ahead of the medical professionals by any means, because I think they control the destiny of all of us.
Right.
And in proper structuring of our society and the safety of it. And I certainly want to err on the safe side, not the rampant side. And so, you know, in discussing with Lori and Mason, you know, we want to go slowly. We don't want to go quickly. And, you know, it could be that, you know, the mayor allows people to start opening again day after tomorrow. I don't agree with that. I think that we need to go until Saturday, so we're totally prepared and our staff's trained, and you know, we ease into it. And
right.
And
Paul,
come back to you
Paul,
on Monday and
Paul,
say
I
how we did.
understand the easing into it. I totally understand that. But is a week going to kill you based on? Okay, all right. In other words, Saturday to Saturday we meet Monday, and then the next Saturday we open it and ease into it. Let's just be mindful of the numbers in Dade County, my colleagues, please.
Mayor, I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, I have a couple of questions. First of all is for Paul. Paul, we talking about opening the driving range too, or just a golf course?
No, the driving range as well. But instead of what we have 4-foot separations now, we'll have 10-foot separations.
All right, the second one, I guess is for Heidi. Is there any liability for us now that this came up and it's public record that we open it up, let's say Wednesday or Saturday, and somebody gets infected? Is there any liability for us? They say they got infected in a golf course.
Not, it's just stupidity on our part.
Councilman, I don't know that somebody would be able, where people can prove that they were where they were infected. I think that's difficult to do. So I really don't know what liability the city would have. But I think it would be very difficult for anyone at this point to prove based on what I've been reading, just the same as you all in media reports and from our state and local partners. I don't know that we would be able to easily identify where someone was infected.
I also,
Mayor, hold on. I got two more questions real quick. I haven't said much in the meeting. Also, this is all based on that the mayor's going to order the golf course open on the 27th, because he might not. So we kind of going over this, without any facts that he's going to do that. But my other question would be to the rest of the council is what is it that we're going to have on Monday that we don't have now, or what are we requesting from the staff to get to us so we can make a better decision on Monday that we can't do tonight?
because I think that if you don't start something, you're never going to be able to understand what you have to do to continue. I have a difference of opinion here. I think he should open up on Wednesday when the traffic will be less, so his staff can get accommodated to what he has to do. In other words, Wednesday's not going to be a lot of people. So in other words, he can have his staff and have a trial run. Thursdays, maybe people find out he has a trial run. Friday, better. Saturday, when he might get concocted with a lot of people, that's the first time. That might be the right thing to do. It'll be a gradual situation on how to do. He might even get on Wednesday, maybe he gets 50 golfers at most. Then Thursday, maybe 50, but maybe Saturday, opening up on that one day, the day that everybody's off, he's going to get 120, 130 people. It doesn't make any sense to open it on, in my opinion, and my opinion's right. It doesn't make any sense to open it up on a Saturday. It'd be better to open up on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and get a situation on how he feels about how his procedures are working. And then when it goes, even if he wants to shut down on Saturday, then he doesn't like what he's doing, he comes to council on the 27th. That we can do it. But you got to start somewhere. You can't be afraid of this stuff. You got to go ahead and start somewhere.
You can't be afraid. You can't be afraid of it, but you got to pay attention to it.
You got to. I am paying attention to it.
Obviously not.
We sit here and watch this television every day about this coronavirus. Every day you watch it. Every day, 24K. Everybody,
and you know the numbers from Dade County.
Everybody in this platform has been watching it, and nobody knows. Nobody knows the count because the count could be so far off. There's many people that had it already that you didn't even know had it. My brother,
which is even worse.
My brother,
which is even worse.
Yeah,
Mayor, I have my question is, for example, to Councilman Bass, what is it that we need to have by Monday to make our decision that we don't have tonight? What do you want from staff to get us?
All right, to respond to Councilman Petrolanda, I will say this: what I'd like to see is the numbers greatly reduced of people that are affected by this virus on a daily basis next Monday. That's what I'd like to see, Councilman Petrolanda. A lot lower than it is now, sir.
But you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it.
Should we open the golf course, Bill? Does that make any sense?
You're not going to see it because you're never going to see it. Don't you understand? It's an equation that can't stop. It's an equation that can't stop. It's something that can't stop. Every day it's the same thing, more and more cases. Well, why do you think there's more and more cases? They're testing more people.
Because
more and more
cases. We got a problem, sir.
All right.
Maybe because we got a problem.
All right. Number one, let's vote on the motion.
I haven't spoken and I'd like to speak, please.
Go ahead.
Mrs.
Thank you.
Councilman Zapata.
I don't understand why we're discussing this at this meeting. I guess if it hadn't been brought up, we wouldn't be discussing it at all. And so I have a bit of an issue with the fact that maybe this was already discussed and decided before it came to this meeting. That's all I have to say. I know.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm not ready.
Nobody's talking.
If you let me speak, I'm
not
raising my voice.
You qualify what that means.
If you let me speak, I could speak. Had it not been brought up at this meeting, it was not on the agenda, it was not anywhere. It was only because it was addressed at the meeting and all of a sudden it comes up that we're going to be precautious. And it gives me the impression that we have the feeling, or we know, or we've been given the heads up that the city not Miami Springs, the county is going to open this up. And I would have wanted to have known given that heads up before. I just think it would not, that we would have found out next week in the meeting after it was already open and not be able to have done anything or have been discussed. I think we owe it to the residents of Miami Springs to have discussed it this way. And if people want to get upset at me and another article wants to come out in the paper on my behavior, that's fine. I'm appalled.
Can I, Councilwoman Zapata, Mr. Mayor, may I speak? I have just one more thing to say, and I'll be quiet. I just like to cite the numbers for the last 4 days of effects of viruses affecting of people in Dade County. On 4/17, 8,326. 4/18, 8,966. 4/19, 8,354. Today, 9,460. What are we, nuts?
I said this at the beginning to Councilwoman Zapata. I said at the beginning, I thought this was a bad thing to do, to make any decision on this in this meeting, because we're not being transparent. We're doing something where nobody knows anything about. We're putting something on the agenda that should have never been taught. We were making a decision on an agenda, on something that's not on the agenda. And I agree with you there, that it shouldn't be here. The fact that the mayor has, because if you don't know the situation, the mayor of Dade County has said that he's thinking about opening up on Wednesday golf courses and so on. That was public. That wasn't on the inside. That was something that was expressed on television, everywhere, in memos to our city, everywhere. That's been discussed. It's my opinion that the golf course, whenever the county allows the golf courses to open up, I think we should let it open up. We should let it open up on the Wednesday or Thursday, not on a Saturday, so that staff and the golf course people can have a good idea of what they're going to have to do. And if anything isn't the right way to do it, we talk about it. We'll definitely be on the agenda on the 27th. This is how I think it should be done. I can't see any other way, because then you're getting a trial, because you're not getting a bunch of people on Saturday or Sunday. And Paul, I would appreciate that if I would appreciate that you open up on Wednesday so that you can train your staff on the less of amount of people coming into the golf course than on the Saturday. Or if you need another day, Thursday, but at least you'll get, it's like teaching somebody to do something. You start slow. So you say about starting slow, Saturday's not going to be your slow day. Once the people in this city understand the golf course is open to golf, you're going to see everybody there. I got customers that want to go there, but they're not going to go there on Wednesday, and they're not going to go there on Thursday. They're working. So the best thing, in my opinion, is to open up whenever the county mayor says so, and open up on a slow pace, because that's when the slow pace is going to be. These are my thoughts. These are my thoughts.
People aren't working, Mayor. People are working remotely. They're not going into offices.
The people that have the money to golf are working. Okay.
Well,
the people, now I'm going to tell you the truth. The people that have the money to golf are working. The people that don't have the money to golf aren't going to be golfing. They're going to be buying food.
That's an interesting statement.
Yeah.
They're going to be buying food. They're not going to be going on spending $40 on the golf course. You're going to have a select few golf on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. Come on,
so a bunch of people go out to the golf course. They start playing on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever days. Those guys go back home and they infect their wives or their kids or women who are playing, whatever it is. Let me not be gender biased here, since I'm a known feminist, right? But the reality is that, let me tell you how it happens. My friend Raquel, who I saw on a Saturday morning and took her food because she had left her mother in the hospital, Wednesday her mother was dead by herself, and she never even got to say goodbye to her. This is a real thing.
Well, there's stories like that everywhere. I
and we know that,
Yeah.
and we're still taking this lightly. So
Really, and so let's play. Yeah, so let's play golf.
Yeah.
Okay, could we just decide on Monday at the meeting? We'll discuss this. We got a memo from William this week, I think yesterday or today, saying that the
correct,
county
yeah.
manager, right. So we were all informed by memo from William, that the county mayor is planning to open the golf courses possibly as early as Wednesday. And that's why I'm guessing Councilman Best brought it up today, because we
Correct.
all received a memo from our city manager advising of that. So
We got a motion, call the vote.
Mayor, we
what is
need
the-
to open the public comments portion of this before. And I do
Why?
have,
Why do we have to open the public comment?
Mayor,
We already have a
because
motion. We have a motion in a second.
Well, why public comment? It's no different than the other motion or thing. Why is this different?
Mayor, because there were no action items on the agenda. It was all reports except for the one item at the beginning of the meeting. And so in order to make sure that we are,
All right, I open up for public talk. Anybody wish to speak on this item?
yes, I have one lady. I will unmute her at this point. Hello, Darlene? Darlene? Her question, she texted me through the chat. Her question was in reference to dog groomers as to if we are able to open those at this point as well.
The dog park?
The dog groomers.
The dog groomers? Groomers, oh, dog groomers.
Groomers.
Oh,
Dog groomers, yeah.
we gotta abide by the county. You know, we can't supersede the counties or to do it.
Right now, all those businesses, whether it's beauty salons, barber shops, dog groomers, all of that are still under emergency order to close. That has not changed yet.
Understand.
Anybody else?
Yes, I do. I'm still
Wait,
confused about making.
we're in the public part of it.
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
Wherever-
Said everybody. Never mind.
Oh, okay. She mentioned that PetSmart has reopened their salons.
Is that in the city?
No, she said it's outside of the city.
No, that's not.
That's the other people's jurisdiction.
Right.
Oh, they open, I'm sorry, let me rephrase. PetSmart has opened their salons in Miami-Dade County.
Well, I mean, if we, I guess we're gonna have to see if we can answer her, see if they have opened some of these things up that we don't know about.
Okay, I will notify her. Is there anyone else that would like to make a public comment at this time?
No, I would not.
I'm still searching the participants. I don't see anybody at this time with any further comments, Mayor.
Is that long enough for you, Heidi?
Anyone else making any public comments, please dial *9. I'm still searching, sir. I don't have anyone else.
Okay.
someone
We're gonna-
raising their hand on the chat, Erica, it's.
I
a
don't see
number-
it. Yeah, I don't see it on my end.
It's a number ending in 517. It's a 917 number.
Oh, I see it.
The
Yes.
participants.
I'm going to unmute. Yes. The person with the phone number ending in 517, I am unmuting you.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much. I was trying for quite some time to put in a comment, so I appreciate you getting to me. My
Yes, go
comment on this is basically that I'm a resident of Miami Springs. I have a child. We have been social distancing and respecting every rule for quite some time now and doing our part to sacrifice in order to get through this as quickly and as efficiently and safely as we all can. And rushing to open the golf course without knowing the numbers that everyone agrees we don't know is unnecessary. Please, I beg of you, take your time, take our children, take our neighborhoods, take our employees, take our community into consideration. And when you do so slowly and carefully. And lastly, the other comment I want to make, I don't know how many of you are aware that the numbers that are coming out are numbers that are being, are numbers for results that are being tested and validated through the CDC. All of the test numbers for persons that are being tested through private institutions or through private universities, like all the testing from the University of Miami, the testing on the police force, the testing on in the various communities that have chosen to pay for it themselves from private laboratories are not being reported or reflected in those numbers. So take that into consideration. Whatever number you're seeing in the news in your 24-hour cycle, multiply that by a lot. Because I can tell you personally that the numbers are delayed by at least 7 to 10 days. And those are only the numbers that are coming through the CDC. So I love our community. Thank you very much. And please take that into consideration, because opening a golf course to make a couple dollars is not worth it. It's not worth it. Do it right or don't do it at all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
Anyone else with public comments, please dial *9. I don't see anyone else, sir.
Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. And what's the motion again?
The
motion, sir, that I made was not to open the golf course based on Mayor Carlos Jimenez's recommendation of Wednesday, if in fact that even happens. But wait until the next meeting for us to discuss it and legitimately vote on it.
I have a question, Mayor.
Who seconded it?
Vice Mayor Zapata.
Okay, go ahead, Jaime. Councilman Vetro.
What is it that we need to, what are we requiring staff to have for us for Monday so we can make a better decision on whether open it or not? That's kind of my question.
Jamie, I think I answered that earlier. I just cited you the numbers of people that are being affected by this in Miami-Dade County for the last 4 days. That's the reason. It's going up, pal. It ain't going down.
No, that's not what I'm referring. What is it that we're asking staff to bring to us? What data, what information? Maybe policies that we're going to implement in the golf course, stuff like that for us to make a educated decision other than an emotional one.
That's what we saw that from the manager today for the 2 pages that he sent us on our iPads of all the things that Paul would do.
I would just like to say that the policies that Paul and his staff put together are very extensive and look like they've given it a lot of thought and very reasonable, proactive measures. But I think based on our discussion tonight, I would like to wait until April 27th to that meeting and perhaps at that meeting, what Paul could bring to us is an evaluation of how, if the golf courses have been opened up over the county as early as Wednesday or over the weekend prior to our meeting, perhaps he could give us a summary of how it's going.
I understand that. I saw the policies, but it seems like they're not enough. I guess my question is they're not enough for Bob and for Councilman Best and Councilwoman Zapata.
No, you're speaking on my behalf. I haven't heard any exact measures that are going to be taken. I would like to see what the exact measures would be. So don't say it's not enough for me.
I'm sorry?
Don't say it's not enough for me. I wasn't given a chance to say that I would be happy to see what the process at our golf course would be in terms of what Paul would be proposing. And I would like it to be very detailed in terms of how we would be guaranteed that the distancing would be maintained And how are we gonna make that the onus on us?
So this is what we need, I guess, for Monday's meeting, so we can make an educated decision.
Well, Jamie, I'll tell you something. For me, what I'd like to see is the number of people affected in the county starts going down. And it's not, brother, it's going up.
Yeah, in addition to that.
And we're going to open a golf course
Okay,
in the middle of those numbers?
we have the policies from Paul, which are very extensive, which we received by email today.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I think what's reasonable for us to discuss on April 27th is to ask Paul if the other county golf courses open, if he could evaluate what is happening at those golf courses, get input so that he could present to us on April 27th meeting, a summary of what he's found out from the other golf courses that have opened throughout the county, how it's going, and any new changes that he would have to make on these policies, and whether he still feels that, that we could go forward and open safely on the following Saturday. I'm for opening with the recommendation that Paul gave of he wants to open on a weekend. I'm for giving him, he knows his business, and if he feels that a weekend is the best time to open, then that's fine. But perhaps he'll change his mind by Monday also after he reviews what's happening at the other golf courses. So I think that that's something reasonable that we can put on the agenda for April 27th.
Mayor, if I may, the regulations that Paul sent us today are regulations that were established by the task force that was set up by the county mayor for all golf courses to follow if they're planning to open. It's a very extensive and detailed list. Now, the mayor said that before he makes a decision, he's getting together with his health professionals tonight from, I guess, the Florida Department of Health and CDC, state, and all that, to make a final decision on what to do with the golf courses, whether they're going to be open on Wednesday or Saturday or whenever. So, I mean, they're going through the process and they're consulting with health officials before they do anything. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, as far as Councilman Petrolanda, I don't think Councilman Best is asking anything from staff. What he'd like to see is, one of the things that was said nationally was before phase 1 starts, that they wanted to see 14 days of reduced numbers.
That's correct, sir.
Before they start phase 1. And I think that's what he's referring to. He would like to see the numbers start coming down before we even consider opening the golf course.
Thank you, Mr. Alonso.
Thank you. Thank you, William.
Anyone else have any comments?
Mayor,
Yes.
I have another participant who rose their hand that would like to speak. I know it's public comments have ended, but.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm unmuting participant, phone number ending in 976. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, go ahead, sir. Please
Thank
state your
you.
name and address for the record. I'm sorry.
Sure. My name is John Shapiro. I live at 1110 Ibis Avenue, Miami Springs.
Thank you, sir.
I've heard the numbers that have been tossed around regarding the number of cases in Dade County, but I don't believe those numbers are reflective of the number of cases in Miami Springs. I believe the numbers in Miami Springs are far, far less than those numbers, and I just don't believe that our city should not follow the recommendations of the mayor of Dade County, who, as Councilman Petrolanda just stated, has a major health department looking at all the variables that affect what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that whatever the vote comes out, if it comes out, the people that vote, you're just delaying the inevitable that we got to open sometime. And this might be, in my opinion, the best time because there won't be that many people. We could get a handle on how we do things and go forward. Saying that, call the vote.
Could we rephrase because I'm not sure what we're voting. What is it to delay?
We're voting not to open up until we're voting not to open it up at all. But I mean, we're going to have a
Can you read the motion,
discussion at the
Erica?
27th meeting. Huh?
Erica should read the motion there.
Yes, the motion is to have the golf course remain closed until a discussion on the item on the next council meeting, which is April 27th.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
And
Mr.
again-
Mayor,
Yes,
I just want to clarify that the emergency order that I would draft if this motion were to pass would provide effectively that the golf course would remain closed through basically 11:59 p.m. on April 27th. And then, depending on what the council's decision is, we would amend that order after the April 27th meeting.
call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata,
No.
Councilman Best,
No.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
Yes. Okay, was that voted the right way?
I voted so that we wait till April 27th meeting.
Oh, so did
I
I.
think,
Yeah,
well, I think it was, I think we
it should have-
juxtaposed the vote then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You voted wrong.
Let me do this, if I might, Madam Clerk. Might I withdraw my motion through the chair and make a new motion that we do nothing until April 27th until we meet again? That would be my motion.
I second
Right.
that.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
There we go.
Is everything right with what we're doing, Heidi?
Just, Councilman Best, I want to make sure that I understand what your intent is, because it seems to have shifted, like it's a
No.
180.
Opposite.
No, my intent hasn't shifted at all. I said that we should not open the golf course as the county mayor may suggest on Wednesday. If he does, he might not.
Okay,
But
so
I'm
I
saying,
think
I'm saying that we do not open our golf course in Miami Springs until we meet again on the 27th. which
And
is
that
a
was,
month.
that was the first
So-
motion, so
That
it's
was-
correct.
That's right.
Yes.
That's
right, so your motion to state it affirmatively, if I may,
Yep.
would be to, notwithstanding whatever the county does,
Correct.
notwithstanding the county's action, the city of Miami Springs' golf course would remain closed through April 27th, period.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Madam Attorney.
Thank you.
Okay, and I
Second.
to vote on that, to wait till April 27th meeting for our discussion.
Well, wait a
then.
minute, let me call the vote.
Okay, sir, go ahead.
Not
So
sure
did
how-
I get a second? Did I get a second?
I
From,
second.
Vice
Second.
Mayor.
All right, call the vote.
Vice Mayor Zapata,
Yes, to wait.
Councilman Best,
Yes, for sure to wait.
Councilwoman Mitchell,
Yes.
Councilman Petralanda,
Yes.
Mayor Bain.
No.
Okay.
That's it? The meeting's over? So we're gonna have the next meeting, virtual meeting scheduled to April 27th, 2020 at 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good night, everybody. This meeting's
night.
Thank you,
adjourned.
Mayor. Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.